Hey folks, Rick here for another Facebook Live on this Tuesday, October 6th. Back from, I was gone last week. You probably missed me. It's okay. All right. So today we have an incredible interview from our Upland, California office. We have Julie Hudson. Julie, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Glad to be
So,
here.
your manager, Bill, said, hey, you got to interview her. She's doing incredible business. She does it mostly from, her sphere. And she's already, I think you did 7 million in gross involvement last year, and you're already there, closed this year, which means, if you just coast, you're going to finish 25% ahead of last year. So tell them, we know who you are, but people in Nevada and Arizona don't know you as well. So, or even in Orange County. So, tell them a little about yourself, how long you've been doing this, all that good stuff, please.
Okay, so I've been doing this 14 years in June, so 13 years.
Okay.
Uh, Prior to that, I was a court reporter for 15 years, but I started getting arthritis in my fingers, so I had to look for something else to do. My husband wanted to fix and flip homes, so I thought, oh, well, I'll get my license so we don't have to pay commission. And we've only done two fix and flips since I got my license because I don't have time for us. But I love what I do, and I have two grown kids and three grandkids, and a really great support system at home. So that helps a lot. Uh,
Wow.
yeah. So my
You were
husband,
a court reporter. Okay, so I didn't know that.
yeah,
What do you think of? Well, first off, that must have been an incredible job. You must have seen some pretty crazy stuff, right?
I loved that job. I thought it was a great job. It was very stressful though, but yeah, I loved that job.
So I have to ask you, Julie, was that when journalism was still journalism, unlike today?
Yeah, I think real stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, because I watched today, I'm like, that's not journalism. They're just one political party or the other. It's kind
yeah,
of crazy today.
so
But that
crazy.
sounds like a really interesting job. Okay,
Yeah.
you must have crazy stories. Can we get you to tell us one
Oh,
crazy story?
you know what? I did depositions, so the drag of that was I never got to hear the outcome. I
Uh,
heard the middle part, so I didn't work in court. I worked in depositions, so pretrial stuff. Yeah.
so for those you would take under oath someone's deposition and
Yes.
do it all up, and
Yeah.
then and let's face it, 90% of them never make it to court anyway. They get settled
Yeah.
outside of court. So you
Yeah.
probably that's an interesting job, right? But at
Yeah.
least you're dealing with people, right? So
Yeah, it was definitely a different place, different thing every single day. It was very interesting, and when my finger started going bad, it was a hard thing to give up because since my high school years, I knew that's what I wanted to do, and I didn't know what else to do with myself. So it was a sad time, but I had no idea that I would love my new career like I do. So that worked out great.
well, that's great. Sometimes when things like that happen, and as the saying goes, you turn lemon into lemonade. And it
Yeah,
ends up being even better, right?
yeah, totally. When one door closes, the other door opens. Walk through
Right.
it.
Right. And I would say that you're probably doing a little bit better financially doing this job, right?
It was good pay, but I'm doing quite, but I would say quite a bit.
And that's
Yeah,
that's the one great thing about real estate is you're self-employed and you get to pick, what you're worth, and the only vote that matters is you. Especially, it sounds like it's a family affair for you too, so that's great. Two fix
yeah.
and flips. Has that been tougher to do lately?
We haven't done one lately. That's not even something that it's on our radar right now.
Okay. Yeah, those
But
commissions. Yeah, I used to do a little building, those developing and selling, and I used to tell everybody, it sounds wonderful, the building and developing part, but the commissions are definitely the most profitable when you look at expenses versus, because
yeah,
when you're running a real business and you have very little overhead and you're making, 6, 7% off the top, that's a pretty good gig.
not bad. That's for sure.
Okay, so let's get into this now. Even with the COVID year, and you're in California, probably the tightest state of all, definitely of the three states that we're involved, which is Arizona, Nevada, and California. Tightest as far as what you can do and so forth. But you still closed everything you did all of last year, and you have 3 months left. So how'd you pull that off?
Just very blessed. I don't know. It's just hard work. I have an amazing sphere that just refers me constantly, and I don't know, like I always look back and say, I love what I do, so I never feel like I'm working. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
um, I do it all the time, and people know they can depend on me. And um, I just, I don't know. I answer my phone. That's honestly the biggest thing. And the thing I hear most about agents is they don't answer their phone, and I do all the time. So I don't know. I just hard work, I guess.
Well, I can hear that you're a hard worker. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've heard that recently. I answer my phone, and you're right. A lot of agents don't answer their phones, and
Oh,
so whether you're in
annoying.
town, out of town, I know your husband
Right,
do it. And you do a little traveling, whether you're at the beach or there or wherever.
right.
You're answering your phone, right?
All the time. All the time. He's even on vacation. I'm working because I can, and it's not that hard to be available and you know just reach out, and it works. It really does.
That's such a great statement too in today's world, where I'm working because I can, because some people can't, and I'm glad that you make that distinction because in real estate, think about that. In real estate, you could have tenants that didn't pay because the government made it okay for them. Depending on your state, some made it even easier. But other than that, we've been able to work. We've been able to, do our jobs, and restaurants and other stores have been dramatically infected, and we have to be very grateful that we can show up and do it every day. I mean, augmented slightly, but compared to other, I just went on vacation for the first time. It's the first time that in 15, I figured this out in 15 years that I hadn't flown in 6 months. March to October, is that 7 months? Whatever that is, it's the first time, and everything is different. Masks everywhere. The planes within inside the United States are only like 60, 70% full, but as soon as you go international, they're jammed, but everybody has a mask. Some people have masks and shields. Okay, look like
Oh,
beekeepers walking around. Whatever you got to do to stay safe. But I'm glad you made that distinction because it is pretty awesome that that we have been able to still work.
yeah.
So, yeah, any thoughts about that?
You know what? I really expected more of a downturn, people kind of getting turned off because of this and not knowing what to do, but I have not experienced that. The buyers that are out there are clamoring for houses. There's obviously not enough houses on the market, and I'm getting multiple offers, and every single one of them are going over my list price by 25, 35, $40,000. So, and I'm getting the appraisals to come in. So it's a weird market right now. Enjoying it though.
Yeah, it's a different type of weird too, because you're right. You're in that great area, Upland Rancho area, where it's not quite as ballistic as Orange County or San Diego, but it's close.
Yeah,
But and
yeah,
your average sell price, so it's a really, really good area to list and sell real estate. I think. Would you agree?
yeah. It's a great area. I mean, can't beat it. It's
You got
we
that?
have it all. We have it all from the little ones to the huge ones.
Yeah,
We have everything. So yeah.
from A to Z, and then you got that. What's that big mountain right down in there? You see it from everywhere. What's the name of that mountain? It's right downtown.
The mountain,
When you're driving through Upland, like where the office is, you look up and you see that. Is it a
Mount
hill? Is it
Baldy, Mount
what is
Baldy,
it?
Mount Baldy.
Mount Baldy. Right, right. Yeah, very distinctful. The closer you get, you can. It's very.
So
You can see it really well.
we just
All right.
take it for granted because we grew up here. So just take that for granted. It's just always there.
Yeah,
Don't see it till
exactly.
you see it, though.
That's great. No, and you were obviously part of the merger, Tarbell into Berkshire Hathaway, which is great. So good for you there. Have you liked it? Has that been a good transition for you?
It was a little bit tough at first, obviously, but it's been great. Our manager, and all your team has really made it wonderful. I mean, I don't think we could have asked for anything better.
You mean Bill Velto, the mayor of Upland? Has he
Go,
officially
Bill.
won yet?
No, he's just running. We'll see. I'm pretty sure. I can't imagine that he'll lose, but we'll see.
Right. That's what I call him the mayor already. Even if he loses, I'm still going to call him the
Yeah.
mayor. Okay. Well, let's talk about your sphere. Okay. So, would you say 90% of your business comes from your sphere?
Yes. At
Okay.
least. yeah.
So I know they call you, but tell us about, I mean, if they're calling you, it's because you're doing incredible service. So tell us a little about that. Do you stay in touch with them? Do you have them in the VAC 2.0, or are you still working that out? Or so tell us how you work that.
So every client becomes a friend. It's just how that happens. And I do stay in touch. We text and I drop by. And, obviously, as the sphere got bigger, it was a lot harder to do. So the VAC is going to be a huge help for me. My daughter-in-law is actually helping me out with that. She's going to get her license and she's going to be my assistant. So
Yeah.
her job is going to be to learn the VAC and market me. But it's, I just, I don't know what to say. I just feel like everybody's my friend, and they know I'm their advocate. I wouldn't know when to bring out the bulldog, but I normally don't have to, and it just works. I don't know. So
Great.
yeah,
Yeah, well, that's great because when you treat them like friends and family, then you have, you take that fiduciary responsibility to a whole new level, right? Like their needs.
yeah, it does come a little personal for me.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're definitely of service for them. That would you agree with
Yeah,
that?
yeah, for sure. It becomes personal, and I try not to take it to too much level, but every transaction for me is personal.
Right. And you seem like one of those ones that's available no matter what time they call, and you'll answer their questions and help them out.
Yeah, they
Also,
always get amazed, like you're up at this hour, or you're sending me emails at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's like, yeah, because that's what I do. So
wow.
yeah,
At 1 o'clock in the morning, I've been sleeping for 4 hours.
uh, yeah, but I'm sure you get up a whole lot earlier than I do. So
Yeah, I do get up early, but it works. Either I mean, what if you return an email at 5 o'clock in the morning? They still think you're full service, whether it's 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, or 4 o'clock, or five
yeah,
o'clock in the morning. As long as you
yeah.
have, whatever your time. I mean, everybody's got to sleep, so whatever your time is, that you're doing it. Okay, cool. Anything
Yeah.
else you can think of about the sphere before I get into my favorite question of all times?
um, at the sphere, I think it just grows itself once you do a good job for the first one. And that's literally how it started. My husband was a captain at the fire department, and his firefighter was ready to buy, so he waited for me to get my license. So out of the gate, I had my first buyer, and it literally just went off from there. And like I said, I didn't know I'd get hooked like I did, but it was really fun. So, and
That's
it
great.
just worked from there. So that for me, that's how it worked.
Well, you had your that's amazing. Your husband's friend at work waited for you to get your license before he bought his house. That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
great. I love it.
yeah,
So your first
yeah.
deck was on buy it, and then look at those commissions and you go, "Wow, this is a pretty good gig."
Not so bad. Not so bad.
Right? Yeah, you're probably still in mourning a little bit about your reporting job.
That went away pretty quickly.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's get into my favorite question. So you've been doing this for 14 years now. You're a successful agent, in that office for sure. So what would you give them, like your top three pieces of advice, whether they're new or trying to go to the next level or just trying to get their business to work better? What would be the three pieces of advice that you'd give them today?
The first one we've already talked about is answer your phone, be available. That is huge. It really is huge. Even as a buyer's agent, when you're reaching out to try and make, um, appointments to show, and they don't answer, they don't, it's just really difficult. So that is my hugest one. It would be that. Uh, Probably the second thing was learn your craft. Learn what you're doing. Make sure you understand all the forms and when to use them and when not to use them. And thank God for Bill and all of our training that we've always had, because that comes for us. But it's important to know that stuff because it's easier to be confident in yourself when you know what you're doing.
Right.
So yeah. So and then the third thing would be, I would say, just uh, I mean, this is going to sound weird, but try and enjoy the time when I not busy, because I used to just stress out like, oh no, I don't have any business, and for me, not having business is not having 5 escrows or something going on with 5 buyers,
Right.
but so I would stress about it and like, what am I going to do? Da, da, da. And then I wouldn't enjoy that time, and all of a sudden I'd get busy again. And so now I look back and go, I try to just kind of take some time and enjoy that time a little bit, before it starts up again.
So you kind of plan your time off based on your lulls, and that's how you just take it when it's available.
Yeah, it doesn't come that often, so when I just am trying to enjoy that time when it does come.
So awesome stuff. So number one is definitely be available, be a professional, treat your
Yeah,
customers with unbelievable, like the golden rule, right? Treat them the way you would like to be treated in the same transaction. And it sounds like you're the classic example of under promise and over deliver. That's what I'm hearing.
yeah. I definitely try that.
Yes.
I don't overpromise, and I never make promises that I can't keep. You know, do what you say and say what you do.
That's so important today, isn't it? And not a lot of people do that. It's unfortunate.
It
You
is
know,
unfortunate. It
common
is.
sense is not that common today.
That's so
Especially
true.
with an election year. People are crazy. Yeah. They go nuts.
So
It's pretty.
crazy. Yeah, nutsy. And I always have to remember that the my clients don't know what they're doing, or they wouldn't have needed me. They wouldn't have
Right.
hired me. And that it's a step by step process. And I really want to make sure they understand everything as we go through. And I want it to try to be enjoyable. I know it's a stressful thing for them too, but I want them to look back and go, that wasn't so bad. I want to do that again.
Right.
And so, the multiple, I've had clients sell 3 and 4 houses in this 13 years. So,
Good. You could probably link a whole chain of people all the way back to your first couple of transactions, and it
for
just
sure.
keeps growing.
Yes. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
when you're doing a transaction with them, do you ask them? By the way, if you know anybody, keep me in mind. Do you ask for referrals?
You know what? I'm sure it comes up. I never asked directly, but recently I have been sending out, surveys for my clients to fill out. I just tell them it helps me get better. And so, obviously on that I do. And that's kind of a new thing for me. But we always talk about it, and they always tell me, oh, when my mom's ready, or when my sister's getting ready, they always say
Good
that
for
to
you.
me. So, yeah.
Yeah, when you do a great job, they love to help you out, and it's like going to a great restaurant, right? You go to a great restaurant, you'll tell two or three friends. You go to a bad one, you'll tell everybody.
Ten people, exactly.
All right, good. So be available. Unbelievable service. Golden rule. I love that. Second one you said is know your craft, be knowledgeable. And I'm assuming you mean numbers, what's happening in your area, active inventory, all the pricing. That's the kind of stuff you're talking about, right?
All that, but also how to write a good offer, how to accept a good offer. Know what you're looking at when you receive an offer as the listing agent. That kind of stuff too. It's really important because I get so many poorly written offers on my listings, and it's like, do I really want to walk this other agent through this whole thing? I mean, it's important. It really makes a huge difference to know what you're doing and hone in on that craft.
That's such a great, because especially in today where they're getting multiple offers,
Yeah.
you need to appear, not just appear. You need to know what you're doing. So if you're newer and you don't know what that means, talk to your manager. Like if you got a manager like Bill Velto, the mayor. Okay, shameless plug. Vote Bill. But if
Yes.
you don't have all our managers, are incredible. My little joke is since I've been here, we've replaced a few. So all the ones that are currently working are incredible managers. They really are. So don't be afraid to use your managers because you don't want to lose a deal for your client, your fiduciary responsibility, because you appear to not write good offers. So that's such a great point, Julie. I really appreciate that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always available too. Everybody in my office knows I'm happy to help, even with just ideas. Like we recently have this new market, so how do you get your offer accepted? So we talk about that a lot, and I'm always open to helping anybody, and I'm sure a lot of people are in every office, but I
You know,
I like to.
I've been in the business 35 years and I've been coaching for 25. I've been with this company for 6.5. And it's one of the things I noticed right away is the culture of the company. And, let's face it, Tarbell was a perfect fit in California for us because, I mean, the areas and so forth, we weren't competing with each other anyway. So it all works
Right.
together. Now we got that incredible referral network. And, Tarbell, I remember Tarbell when I worked for Mike Ferry in the early 90s as a coach.
Oh
Okay,
wow.
so yeah, I coached a couple of Tarbell agents. I mean, Tarbell's been around forever. What a great, as far as a non-franchise, it was a very well-known name.
Yeah.
It still is, in California, and especially in the areas that you guys are in. So,
And
all
the
right.
training was second to none. The
Yeah.
training was amazing. I mean, we
Yeah.
had a 2 week quick start we had to go to every day for 2 weeks before they would even set us out there. I mean, it was second to none for sure.
Yep.
So,
Great stuff, Julie. All right, cool. Any final thoughts you want to leave these wonderful people today?
oh my gosh, I'd say if you love what you're doing, you'll be good at it. You'll excel, and like I said, and a good background, a home help is a lot. My husband's so helpful, and that really is important to have that support.
Yeah, that is so important, right? To have the family behind you too. Real
Yeah,
estate's one of those interesting businesses, though, where almost anybody can get behind it. And I like what you said about love what you do. There are so many ways you can do real estate, and Mark Stark, the owner, talks about this all the time too. You might as well pick the ones that you like to do and build off those
yeah,
instead of well, I think I should be talking to expires. And then you keep telling yourself you're gonna do it and you never do, and then you feel like a loser. Well, I never do it. Right? So why do that to yourself, right?
right, yeah, yeah. Find that niche.
Find your niche. That's exactly right. Find your niche and work it. And for some people today, it could be social media, it could be whatever it is. As long you have to talk to people. So
Yep.
in finishing today, because I am kind of the company coach, I would say do your business plan. It's the beginning of Rocktober. And the reason
Oh,
I call it Rocktober is if you start acting, walking, talking, being the person that you need to be right now, 3 months before the end of this year, not only will you finish strong, but you'll start off by having your best first quarter ever, which always sets the stage, Julie, doesn't it?
it's very helpful to start off good.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for taking your time out today. It's been about 25 minutes. We really appreciate that, Julie. Keep rocking. We know you're going to finish strong this year. You'll probably end up about 30% over last year. Congratulations. Thanks for your time, everybody. See you on
Thank you.
Thursday. And the studio audience goes crazy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Thanks a lot.
All right,
Bye-bye. Have a great day.